Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wanderlust Wednesday. This is the webinar series in which we take you on fantastic voyages all around the world. My name is Lori Overton. I am the owner of Overton Travel, and I am your host for this webinar series. And today is an amazing day. We are taking you to Dubai. I mean, many of you have heard of most of you, probably all of you have heard of Dubai. Dubai just came out of nowhere in the last 20 to 25 years, and it came with a vengeance. So Dubai is an amazing city, one of the most progressive cities, not just in the Middle East, but in the world right now. And because it has done such great things, Dubai was selected as the host of the World Expo this year as well. So we're going to talk about not just the amazing city of Dubai, which is enough and of its own, but we're also going to talk about the Expo 2020 that's taking place in Dubai this year. So you're in for a great treat. Just some housekeeping notes really quickly before we get started. This is a webinar format. So that means that you can see and hear me and any other presenter. However, we cannot see or hear you. So the way that you communicate with us is through the chat box and the Q&A box. And so this is the difference. The chat box is actually the way you communicate with each other. I know we have a good following of people who come back to Wanderlust Wednesdays often. So say hi to your friends, make your oohs and ahs in the chat box. As you know, that Donna is the moderator, so she'll be manning both boxes. And if you have questions for any other speakers or myself, please put the questions in the Q&A section, and we will answer all of your questions at the end of the presentation. So don't worry, we'll get to it at the end of the presentation. Don't raise your hand because we really can't answer your question if you raise your hand as well. Okay, so hopefully everything is in order. Hopefully you are excited and ready to get going because I am super excited. So I am going to turn it over to our first speaker. She is live and direct from the city of Dubai. I'm going to turn it over to Soraya right now, and she is going to just drop some knowledge on us about Dubai and all the great things that are in store. Oh, so we're not just talking about Dubai just to be talking about it. Overton Travel has a trip to Dubai. So some of you have signed up for it already, but if you haven't, go run to overtontravel.com after this presentation or even during the presentation and sign up. So we have a trip that's scheduled from March 5th through the 13th, 2022. So you're going to see here some of the fabulous things that we'll be doing on our trip. Okay, over to you. Thanks, Soraya.
Thank you so much, Lori. It's such a pleasure to be here with all of you today and talk to you about Dubai. As Lori said, I am currently in Dubai right now. And just to give you a little bit of background, my name is Soraya Al-Alama, and I'm head of North America at Visit Dubai, so the tourism board of Dubai. Just to give you a little bit of Dubai at a glance before I inspire you with some beautiful videos and images of the city and explain some of the cool things that Lori has in store for you. I just wanted to give you a few notes about Dubai. So we currently are the 4th most visited city in the world, and we're also among the top 10 cities for hotel rooms. We're also the #1 destination for tourist spend and the 2nd safest city in the world. And I always like to highlight the fact that we are the 2nd safest city in the world, because you'll see that when you come to Dubai, the hospitality, the way people welcome you when you're here, crime rate, virtually, not non-existent here in Dubai. So, we really do, promote the fact that you can come here as a women-only group or, families, and that you shouldn't worry when in the destination. So a little bit about who we are as Dubai Tourism. So we're responsible for the marketing and the promotion of the Emirate of Dubai. We're dedicated to working with private and public sector tourism and commerce partners to promote Dubai's position as a leading international business and leisure destination. So that's exactly how we're working with Lori. So, she's put together an incredible itinerary, and we're here to support her in any way so that you guys can have an amazing trip when you're in Dubai. So just a little bit of a snapshot of some of the incredible things that you can experience when you're here in Dubai. And I mean, you can see it in the screen now. This is, the beautiful desert that you guys are going to see when you're in Dubai. We have incredible retail, amazing gastronomy, family, outdoors and adventures, culture, arts and entertainment. And before I go into some of the other ones in more detail, I just wanted to talk a little bit about gastronomy. So when you guys come around March, it's actually going to be the food festival time as well. So during this period, we're basically celebrating food in the entire city. So you'll have things like Restaurant Week, which you guys have in the US. You'll have all of these incredible different food experiences that, of course, I'll be working with Lori on, but so many cool things that you can do just around food. And just to put it into context, we have over 220 different nationalities in Dubai. So you can imagine what kind of food you can experience. Obviously, we have an incredible Emirati cuisine, which you're gonna, try while you're here, but also we just have incredible gastronomy from all around the world. So, if you're interested in trying something, Asian or something European, we have it all here in Dubai. And now I'm just going to go into details. So, of course, we're an incredible sun, sand, and blue sky destination. We have clear waters, year-round sunshine, water sports. Around March, the weather is beautiful. It's absolutely amazing when you come. So you'll be able to experience some of the best weather that you'll have in Dubai. And also, of course, experience these beautiful beaches. We have crystal blue waters, we have all of these new areas that have popped up around the beach as well, like Kite Beach, La Mer, where you have lots of restaurants, boutiques. So I know that you guys also have a lot of free time on the itinerary. So, you should explore all of these incredible places because there's just so much to do and see. And then, of course, we have, we're a destination for those who love thrilling adventures. We have some of the best water parks, that are connected to some hotels. Theme parks, obviously, in the US, you guys have some of the best theme parks in the world. But of course, we do things a little bit differently in Dubai, where you can have, see, for instance, Legoland with all of the different, tallest buildings in the world. Of course, Burj Khalifa being the tallest building still currently. You can see that in Lego form. We have the first ever Hunger Games ride. Also, so many different types of experiences that are very different to your normal theme park that you would find anywhere else. And then, of course, skydiving. We have our Crown Prince has started a company called X Dubai, where we have all of these thrilling adrenaline adventure type of activities. So if you wanted to skydive, again, that's super iconic and something that I would highly recommend. And then, of course, in terms of culture and heritage, it's, super, super dear to us and something that a lot of people are not familiar with because, of course, what's interesting about Dubai is that you have older generations that basically experience nothing. And exactly as Lori said, in just a span of 30 years, the entire city has changed from just being a desert, fishing village into the modern metropolis that we are today. And to have a generation be able to see that change is insane. But we do have a beautiful culture and heritage that a lot of people aren't familiar with. And on the itinerary, you're going to be able to experience this Bastakia Al Fahidi district, where you can see some of the most incredible Arabian architecture, where we had the wind towers that in the past were used for ventilation purposes. There's incredible art scene around there, lots of museums, great food. So, really, really highly recommended. And I'm excited for you guys to see it as part of Lori's itinerary. And then, of course, through the Al Fahidi district, you take an Abra, which is our typical, it's what you're seeing on the screen now. It's our traditional little boats that were used as like taxis in the old days that will take you across the creek so that you can experience the Golden Spice Market as well. So no trip to Dubai is complete without seeing this old part of Dubai. And then, of course, in the Golden Spice Markets, bargaining is such a huge part of our culture. So we really expect you guys to bargain while you're there. The price that they give you is never the final price. So, you could definitely have some fun and sort of also see the local population kind of come together there. So it's a really nice place to kind of meet Emiratis as well. And then, of course, in terms of performances, we are the events capital of the region. We have some of the most incredible events. We have the Dubai Opera. So we have a lot of Broadway shows taking place here in Dubai. And then we also have our own homegrown show, one of them called La Pearl. So over here, it's kind of like a story of Dubai, but very Cirque du Soleil-esque. very nice. And then we have a calendar of events. And during March, we also have tons of different events taking place around the city. That's not just centered around food. And then, of course, the desert, one of my favorite parts. Honestly, when you're out in the desert, it's unlike anything you've ever seen. So, Lori has this part of her itinerary as well, which to me is one of the best highlights of the entire trip. Here you can actually see what it was like in the past, Bedouin culture, and, really understand what it was like to live out in the desert before we had all of these skyscrapers and all of these incredible buildings and technology that we had today. You can see some of the most amazing nature and wildlife that's local to Dubai. So of course our camels, Arabian oryxes, and then, have a great meal under the stars. So, and see the sunset, obviously on the dunes. It's absolutely spectacular. And, I think it's honestly going to be one of the biggest highlights that you'll have during your time in Dubai. And now, of course, just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the COVID situation here, just to give you guys that added layer of confidence when selecting Dubai as a destination to travel to. And of course, by March of next year, we're hoping that, none of these things are going to apply anymore. So of course, I'll be providing Lori with all of the most updated information about what you guys are going to need, how you can prepare. But for now, just to give you an overview of how we're handling COVID here in Dubai, we've actually undertaken critical preventative measures, including rigorous implementations of monitoring, surveillance, as well as quarantine protocols. And we've also taken vital proactive steps, such as increasing the COVID-19 PCR testing capacity to more than 80,000 tests per day. So what was really interesting about Dubai was back in March of 2020, when we all started hearing about the pandemic, even before we knew the gravity of how serious the pandemic was, we took matters into our hands really early on, and we put the entire city into a complete lockdown. The entire country, the entire UAE went into an entire lockdown, where during this time, we had a national disinfection program where all of our public areas, malls, hotels were sanitized completely. In order for us to even go out to grocery shopping or to the hospitals or pharmacies, we had to get a permit. So you can see how seriously we took this. And that's why we were able to open our doors on the 7th of July last year without having quarantine in place, just of course with strict measures in place, and then also, specific travel requirements. But that's why we were able to do that earlier than any other destination in the world. We also started our COVID-19 vaccination campaign in December, and we currently rank number 2 globally in terms of the distribution of the vaccination doses administered per capita. So we're hoping that by mid this year, by the end of summer, we'll have 100% of the population fully vaccinated, which is an incredible achievement, where we'll reach hopefully herd immunity by then. We have all sorts of different types of vaccines for those who are interested. Obviously, Pfizer, Moderna, we have here as well, Sinopharm, Oxford, AstraZeneca, and Sputnik. And there were talks about potentially opening up to vaccination tourism. So, I'll keep you guys posted on that. But for now, the rollout campaign is really good, just like the US. You guys have taken incredible steps in getting yourselves to becoming one of the most effective vaccinated countries in the world right now as well. So in terms of what's open and operating, basically everything is open and operating. We have, of course, still some social distancing in place. However, basically life is back to normal here. We still have to wear a mask, but other than that, you can basically go to all kinds of restaurants, shopping malls, cinemas, gyms, pools, amusement parks. Events are taking place again. So everything is up and running, and life is back to normal here in Dubai. Of course, very safe, and I'm going to go through some of those in the next few slides. Some of the safety protocols that we have in place is, of course, we ask that people maintain 2 meters of physical distance from others. And then, of course, capacity in tourist venues have been a bit reduced. We are increasing it on a weekly basis once numbers go down and, we're at a better place. Also, it is mandatory to wear a mask here in Dubai. We are looking at changing some of the requirements for those who are fully vaccinated, but those have not been finalized yet. And I'm sure by March, the situation will drastically change. And so, of course, I'll give Lori the updated information that you guys need to take into consideration when coming. Some of the fines and things that we have in place, just to show you how seriously we take this in Dubai, is that we have undercover COVID-19 inspectors around the entire city. So if you're caught in a public place where you're asked to wear a mask and you're seen, they'll basically fine you on the spot $800 for not wearing your mask. They'll give you a warning, and then after the next warning, you'll be fined $800. So it's a pretty hefty fine, so that's something that everyone takes super seriously over here. Our compliance team also do random site inspections of different tourist attractions and services. So that way we're ensured that they are following all of the rules that we have put in place, so that we know that no one's breaching any rules in terms of like hygiene, any of that. So you can, again, be assured that, we're 100%, clean and hygienic for your, time in Dubai. And then, of course, as I mentioned, we have the undercover COVID-19 inspectors across the city. Some of the accolades that we have are, we had the Safe Travel stamp that was awarded to us by the World Travel and Tourism Council, and we created our own stamp as well, which is called Dubai Assured. You'll see that everywhere around the city, and it's basically a stamp that showcases that this hotel or this retail establishment complies with our health and safety protocols as well as global. Now, in terms of travel requirements, obviously these could change, by the time March comes. I'm sure that they will. Just to know that obviously as an American or a Canadian, you do not need a visa to enter the UAE. You'll just get a stamp on your passport free of cost, and it will give you access into Dubai for 30 days. You have to have some form of medical travel insurance. Obviously, this isn't going to be checked when you book your ticket or when you travel. But of course, if God forbid you were to contract the virus while you were in Dubai, you would then have to, of course, pay for any charges that come associated with quarantine or with, medical expenses of any sort. Anyway, we don't see that happening, but of course it's there just as a, precaution. You are also still at this point requested to bring a negative PCR test in English that's printed, that's valid for 72 hours from the time of the PCR test. Of course, if you're fully vaccinated and by the time March comes, I don't see this being a requirement anymore. But again, I'll be in touch with Lori to make sure that you guys have the updated information. You can test at any accredited lab. We do not have the 14-day quarantine or any testing on arrival either. So you can just, go about your day. And before I hand it over to Tariq, and I'm sure that we can cover this more on the Q&As, but I know a lot of frequently asked questions that people have about what you can wear when you're in Dubai, what to expect. Just to put it into context, I'm Emirati, I'm from Dubai, I don't cover my hair, so that's not a requirement. You don't need to cover your hair while you're in Dubai. You can wear whatever you like, short sleeves, dresses, skirts, shorts. Of course, if you're in the mall, it's just modesty is asked, and maybe bring a sweater or cover your arms. Anyway, we have very high AC, so I'd highly recommend bringing something to cover up in the mall. But then if you're obviously at a mosque, you'll have to cover your entire body and your hair if you're a woman. And if you are in the religious district, so the Al Fahidi district, it's also asked, obviously, that, you respect the culture. There's going to be a lot of, Emirati people there. So it's just asked that maybe you bring a shawl over to cover your arms, and that's fine. But other than that, you do not have to worry about wearing a bikini on the beach, any of that. You can feel free to pack as you like. We're very open here in Dubai. And then in terms of public displays of affection, which a lot of people ask, you can hold hands, you can embrace. It's just extreme public displays of affection we just advise against. And I always say, who really wants to see that anyway? But other than that, I always just, advise that you should feel comfortable, feel free to hold hands, embrace. And then I'll be sending Lori also some frequently asked questions that she can distribute to you as well. That covers, things like currency, frequency of, bringing electrical appliances, all of those type of questions I'll send over to Lori. But that's it from my end, and I'll pass it back to Lori now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Soraya, for that great presentation on Dubai and getting us excited about going there. I had the opportunity to go last summer just for a couple of days, and I'm ready to go back. But I've sent clients there. They stayed a week before, and they said, we need more time. We need more time. There's so much to do. And so for those of you who don't know, I've actually added extra day to the tour this year. My previous tours were only 6 nights, 7 days. This particular tour is 7 nights and 8 days. And one of the reasons that I added more time to this tour and I gave you some free time is because the Expo 2020 Dubai is going to be occurring when we're there. Just big. I guess some people don't know what a big deal this is, so I'm going to let Tarek can explain it better than me. But just to let you know, the Expo only happens every 5 years, and it happens in a different major city around the world. So I think the last one, I don't, was it Madrid or Seville? I think
Milan, Milan
Milan.
in
Milan was the
Italy,
last. Yeah, was
2015. Correct.
yeah, yeah. So it is a big deal. I think like the Eiffel Tower was displayed was first introduced at the World Expo. Like the telephone was first introduced at the World Expo. So people don't really know what it is. I've been asked like, what is the expo? I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty big deal. And the first time it's ever happening in the Middle East, of course, Dubai got the pick for it. So anyhow, Tarek has got me so excited. We spoke the other day and he didn't want to drop all the nuggets to me when we did our walkthrough. So I'm seeing some of this information for the first time as well. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Tarek, because I can't wait to see what you have in store for us. Okay.
Thank you so much, Lori. Look, I'm very excited to be here. I'm very honored. So first of all, I would like to thank, of course, Overton Travel to Lori and Donna for inviting me along with my colleague Soraya. So I'm gonna turn off my video camera just in case we have any issues with the network. But I promise I'll be here. I will be behind the scenes and I'll be able to give you a very cool update about the World Fair that is happening this year, starting from the 1st of October 2021 until the 31st of March 2022. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Tarek. I look after the commercial engagement for the travel and tourism entities in different markets, which includes, of course, North America. That is my email if you require any assist clarifications about the expo, the World in Dubai. Please feel free to get in touch with me. So I always introduce the expo or the World Fair with the following slide. So I don't want to educate you guys and the US or North America, including Canada, but US more. You guys already organized many world fairs in the United States. I mean, in New York, for example, in 1939, and thanks to that world fair, you showcase for the first time the television to the world. Or for example, the world fair in Buffalo or in St. Louis. So you guys are quite familiar with it. And in our part of the world, it's something very new. And as you know, this happens every 5 years, as Lori mentioned. And it's practically countries around the world, they come together to showcase the best in their innovation technology, but also their cultural heritage. So what is the difference between the world fairs of the past and the World Fair that's going to be happening in Dubai this year? So it's practically, this is the first World Fair happening in the Middle East, Africa, and South Asia region. So you can imagine 170 years of history, and we never had the chance to organize such mega event in this part of the world. So because of the closeness, of course, of the different markets and countries to Dubai, so everybody's super excited to be organizing it because they will be having the chance to come and visit it directly. Secondly, we have the largest country participation in the history of the World Fairs. More than 190 countries are participating, and that is super exciting because the site is quite huge. I'm gonna talk about it later. Third, this is the first World Fair where every country is participating. They're going to be having their own space, their own pavilion to showcase their innovation, technology, and of course, their cultural heritage. And we are expecting more than 20,000 national media. Many of them are, of course, North America, United States in this case, and we're going to be practically showcasing an incredible show for the entire world. Let me tell you something. Expo is the site is what you see right now in the screen. Practically, the site is around 4.38 square kilometers, so it's quite big. And you can see it divided in 3 major areas. Each area represents one of the key sub-themes that Expo 2020 has. So as you can see, the orange represents the opportunity sub-theme. We call it district or area. The blue is the mobility district, and the green is the sustainability district. So every country is participating with us. They need to select one of the themes, and their pavilion gonna be located in one of these three areas. Also, I would like to highlight that in every district, we're gonna be having a huge thematic pavilion that will represent that theme, and it has an amazing experience inside, which I'm gonna talk about it later. In the middle, the number 5, that is Al Wasl Plaza. Al Wasl in Arabic means connection or connectivity. And also it's the old name of Dubai. Dubai previously was not Dubai, it was Al Wasl. So and Al Wasl Plaza is gonna be a huge venue where we're gonna be celebrating amazing concerts and daily entertainment. Also, the dome itself, it's like a screen, which practically it is the largest projection dome in the world. So whatever is happening inside is gonna be projected in 360 degrees directly in the dome. And if you are flying on top of a Wasl Plaza, you'll be able to see what is happening inside. Directly connected to the number 3, that is the Dubai Exhibition Center. It's the largest exhibition center we have in the Middle East. So we're going to be having a lot of conferences and exhibition as well during the expo. And number 4, which is the most important point for you, is practically the metro line. It is the largest metro line we have in Dubai. It's called Route 2020. Metro line is already completed and it is operational today. So the staff that they are working in the site, they have the right to use it. So practically you'll be able to come from Dubai Marina, if you know Dubai, in only 20 minutes to the main entrance of the Expo 2020 Dubai. Let me show you some of the amazing images of the Route 2020 metro station, which is already completed. And it's operational only for the Expo 2020 stuff. So we have the right to use it. As you can see, the colors represent the 3 themes of the Expo, which are mobility, sustainability, and opportunity. As well, I would love to highlight for you that inside the site, we have one hotel. It's called Rove Expo 2020 Hotel. It has around 312 rooms, 19 suites, an amazing swimming pool in the terrace overlooking the entire site. By the way, this image is a real image. So this is the site, how it looked like right now. As you can see, 90% of the site is already completed. We are focusing mainly on finalizing the country pavilions, which should be built up very near to the opening, as they are using sustainable materials, and they are temporary materials that are going to be only for during 6-month period. I have a short video of the projection of the Al Wasl Plaza. Let's have a look. So this is the map of the entire site of the expo. The map that you see in front of you is not completed because it has a bottom half of it is missing because I cut it because it was impossible for me to put it in entirely there. But just to let you know, in this map, you'll be able to know the location of every single country participating, every single activity area, and of course the main entrances and the full information. So I'll be happy to share it with Laurie, and Laurie should be able to share the presentation along with the entire map in case you would like to start organizing your visit to the Expo 2020 Dubai. So the red arrow, I put it there for you to know that is the location of the United States Pavilion, which is located in the Al Forsan Park, which is in the Opportunity District. I have a short video as well on the World Fair presentation. Let's have a look.
Come for the greatest global gathering in history, with countries from all over the world. Discover the world's most inventive ideas. See devices that extract water from air, concrete that generates solar power, and the most sensitive radio telescope ever made. Marvel at the world's most inspiring architecture. Step into structures that produce electricity, spaces that change shape, and buildings that send messages to space. Experience the world's greatest entertainment with local and international stars, live concerts, and colorful parades. Take in inspirational art, sample exotic cuisines, and witness more than 190 countries and cultures come together in one place. Join the making of a new world.
Exactly, join the making of the new world. And this is gonna be happening this year, starting from the 1st of October until the 31st of March, 2022. So as you remember, we have 3 areas in the expo that represent 3 different themes. And also every district has a thematic pavilion. So I would like just to highlight for you a couple of them. First, let's talk about the sustainability pavilion. The sustainability pavilion is located just in the sustainability district. The sustainability pavilion, you can place it in the middle of the desert and can generate water and electricity without any kind of help or support. So it's practically an incredible pavilion which is self-sufficient. So let's have a look to the different pavilion that we have in the site. This one is the United Arab Emirates Pavilion, which is the largest country pavilion we have in the site. So in this, as you can see, the shape of it is like a falcon, which is the national bird of the UAE. And the feathers that you see are solar panels in order to generate, of course, solar energy. Inside, you will be able to discover the different innovations that the country is going to be presenting to the world. And of course, the 7 Emirates that constitute the UAE, which are not only Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but there is other different Emirates that you can discover inside this pavilion. So every pavilion that we're gonna be having inside the site is not only about the country, but also different organizations and international participants and international partners gonna be participating and having their own presence inside the site. This is why I said the site is very big and there is a lot of things to see. So practically, I wanted to highlight for you Terra, the sustainability pavilion I was talking about before. This is an incredible architectural building. It has an incredible experience inside. What I'm going to be doing as well after this webinar, I'll be sharing with Lori a virtual visit of this pavilion where you'll be able to discover what are the experiences that has inside. So only the visit of this pavilion takes around 45 minutes to 1 hour to visit it entirely, because it has 2 different journeys. One is under the ocean and the other one is under the forest. This is the Mobility Pavilion, an incredible pavilion located in the thematic district of mobility. This Mobility Pavilion has an incredible journey curated by the producers of the movies, The Avatar, The Hobbit, or Star Wars. Of course, the United States Pavilion, which is located, of course, in the Opportunity District, is incredible. I'm going to show you some images of the pavilion, but just to let you know, it has 13 leading American organizations are participating with us, and they will be able to showcase some incredible innovation that the United States will be presenting to the world, such as, for example, the Hyperloop. Just to let you know, the national day that United States going to be celebrating within the expo is going to be on the 28th of November, 2021. This is the image of the inauguration of the United States Pavilion within the World Fair in Dubai. So it was inaugurated last year in December. As you can see, the pavilion is completed, and it has as well an amazing rocket next to the main entrance, which is the SpaceX rocket. So you'll be able to discover an incredible journey inside this pavilion, focus on different innovation that the United States will be presenting to the world. So every country is participating with us. They're going to be having their own pavilion. They're going to be showcasing their innovations, such as, for example, Brazil, which is located in the sustainability district. Brazil is practically an incredible pavilion, is completely inundated in water. They want to recreate the Amazon rainforest in the desert. So it's an incredible pavilion that I strongly recommend you to visit. In Canada, for example, as well, they're gonna be is located in the sustainability district and gonna be presenting, of course, the life stories of Canada's past, present, and future, and an incredible immersive 360 degrees theater. Also, countries are participating, but we have international partners that are participating. Let's start by Emirates Airline. Emirates Airline, they're going to be having their own pavilion where they're going to be showcasing the future of aviation. So you'll be able to discover how Emirates is going to be presenting the future of different airplanes that they have, and of course the upcoming 5 years and 10 years of the developing this company. Also, a very important pavilion for us, it's called the Women's Pavilion. It's gonna be in collaboration with Cartier. So we practically in this pavilion, we're gonna be celebrating the contribution of women to human knowledge and advancement. So it's an incredible pavilion that I strongly, of course, recommend if you are visiting the World Fair in Dubai. So as I mentioned earlier, 90% of the site is already completed. So right now we are focusing on the country development, and we are expecting that by August, all the countries should be already completed. And of course, we're gonna be opening the 1st of October. Let's talk about entertainment. We're gonna be organizing some incredible entertainment during the 6-month period of the expo. Practically, we are talking about 60 events per day during 6-month period, 60 events daily basis at the Expo 2020 Dubai.
1, 2. You weren't there. You weren't there when humans conquered fire, when they wore animal skin attire or invented the bicycle tire. You weren't there when they created algebra, built the pyramids in Giza, or painted the Mona Lisa. You weren't there when they first made paper or built the amphitheater, when they calculated gravity or made flying reality. You weren't there when they composed the classics or discovered antibiotics, made the mechanical clock, or taught the world to rock. But you could be there and with your own eyes witness new acts of human genius. Be there to see the alliance of art, music, fashion, and science. See a futuristic festival filled with ideas new and radical. Performances magical in a 6-month-long spectacle. This you can't afford to miss. It's the best of humankind and the greatest show our time.
The world's greatest show, because we believe it's gonna be the world's greatest show with a 60 event daily basis. So what are these entertainment and programming that we're gonna be having? So practically are focusing in 5 different areas. 1, every country is participating. They're gonna be having their own artistic and cultural activity within the country itself. So imagine 190 countries with their artists coming from around the world, and of course having some beautiful and incredible concerts and live events. Secondly, official ceremonies, which means we're gonna be celebrating the opening and the closing ceremonies at the expo. And of course, the national days of every single country participating. Third, live performances. 60 events, as I mentioned, live performances, definitely we're gonna be having on a daily basis at the expo. Fourth, immersive experiences, such as, for example, the visit of the Sustainability Pavilion Terra, which I'm gonna share with you, of course, the virtual visit. And last but not least, we have a lot of activities for family and children. So as I mentioned earlier, our international participants, which are the countries that are coming to participate with us and showcase their art and their innovation, they're going to be bringing with them different artists. And of course, we're going to be having some brilliant cultural performances, theater, conferences, music, and a lot more. I would love to highlight as well that we're going to be celebrating two different special days. The special days are practically very key days where we're going to be celebrating in a very, very big way, such as, for example, the Diwali, which is an Indian celebration happening, of course, in November. So we're going to be doing a huge celebration around it. The UAE Golden Jubilee, we're going to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the country. So imagine the magnitude of the celebration. Christmas, you'll be able to visit 190 countries and see how every single country is celebrating Christmas in a different way. And then, of course, the last but not least, going to be Mother's Day, the 1st of March, 2022. But also thematic weeks are very important because we're going to be inviting some global leaders and game changers to participate in some exhibition and forums and workshops. So every week we're going to be having different themes where we're going to be organizing different exhibitions and forums. And of course, we are inviting anyone who's coming to the expo to participate and to attend. Everything is included in your ticket. Of course, in collaboration with the United Nations and the United Arab Emirates, we're going to be celebrating some international days, such as, for example, the International Day of Education, or the World Water Day, or of course, the International Day for Tolerance. This is the fun part, which I love, and I'm super excited about it. 190 countries participating. So imagine every country celebrating their national day at the entire site of the expo. So we'll be able to discover and see how every country culturally they celebrate the national day. So this is super exciting. So for the United States of America, the national day gonna be celebrated on the 28th of November, 2021. I'm gonna share with you the presentation so you'll be able to see, of course, in case you want to focus on a specific country, you'll be able to find it in the list during the entire 6-month period. Also, we're going to be having a lot of live performances. We call it Jalsat Music Night, which are music night settings where we're going to be organizing some incredible Khaliji from music sessions, which are from the Gulf. Musicians from the Gulf going to be doing some amazing music nights, but also going to be having movie night and a lot of roving entertainment and much more at the Expo 2020. So let's talk about food and beverage. So we have more than 200 restaurants, coffee shops, and bars at the expo. So imagine you'll be able to go from grab and go options to something futuristic, such as, for example, the virtual reality dining or augmented reality experiences. And also we're going to be presenting some amazing, never before seen dining concepts in Dubai. It's going to be presented at the Expo 2020 Dubai. So you'll be able to discover some incredible fusions and menus, such as, for example, the France Pavilion. They're going to be having a Michelin star chef in the Pavilion restaurant, and you'll be able to dine, experience some incredible curated fusion menus between the French gastronomy and the Arabic gastronomy. So it's gonna be something unique, and definitely you should be coming and visiting and trying. very information, some practical information about the Expo 2020. I'm sure you would like to know where is located. So it's practically is located strategically between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So you'll be able to come from Dubai International Airport in only 45 minutes, or from Abu Dhabi International Airport in only 60 minutes. But very important, you have the metro line, which is the largest metro line we have in Dubai. So if you come from Dubai Marina, it's only 20 minutes directly to the main entrance of the Expo. Also, we have free shuttle buses coming from different Emirates in the UAE. In case you want to come to the Expo, you just grab one of the buses and you come directly to the main entrance. Inside the Expo, we have four main entrances. You can access the Expo through the different districts or through the metro line, of course. And if you'd like to avoid walking from inside the Expo from a place to another place, you can just take our driverless people mover, where it will be able to take you from a point to another point without walking. Very important. We understand the safety and security of our guests and visitors are very important. So we follow the guidance from the UAE Ministry of Health and Prevention, and of course the Dubai Health Authority. So we're going to be having some measures inside the site, so, such as, for example, thermal cameras at arrival point, the face masks to be worn all the time by visitors, the social distancing regulation. Of course, we're going to be cleaning and sanitization of venues and common areas. Hand sanitizers station going to be everywhere inside the Expo. So if you require more information about the safety measures, please feel free to get in touch with me. I'll be happy to provide you more information. And last but not least, I would love to share with you some cool updates about the prices of our day pass and multi-day pass. These are public prices, the one that you can buy directly at the gate. So just for your information, 1 day pass is approximately $26. It's approximate. And multi-day pass, which gives you access, unlimited access to the Expo, up to 30 days. It's relevant if you are coming for 3 days, 2 days, or 4 days. You can just come back to the Expo whenever you want. It's approximately $53. And just to let you know, we have a lot of free of charge, such as, for example, young people from 0 to 17 years old, persons of determination, students, senior citizens above 60 years. They can access the Expo free of charge. So this is incredible. And I think everything is included, of course, inside the passes. So you'll be able to access, of course, the pavilions. You'll be able to access the entertainment, the conferences. And we open at 10 a.m. We close at midnight. And during weekends, we close at 2 a.m. And of course, I don't have holidays during the 6 months, so we work every day. So we are looking forward to welcoming you, of course, and thank you very much again, Lori. I appreciate that you invited us today. And guys, if you have any question, we'd be happy to, of course, respond. Thank you.
Thank you, Tarek, for accepting the invitation. First of all, so eagerly and without hesitation. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation and for sharing this amazing presentation about the Expo. I mean, I'm already ready to go. So it's going to be an amazing experience. I mean, like everything is in Dubai, right? I mean, it's just like you wouldn't expect anything less, right? You guys just bring it all the time. And so that's great. So what I'm going to do is we have about 10 minutes left in the presentation. I'm going to turn this over to Donna, who's our moderator. I think we have one Q&A in the question box, but if you have some more questions, folks, please put them in and we can get them answered in the next few minutes before we end the presentation. So Donna, let us know what folks are excited about. I see Frankie is excited. She's saying she's booked already.
Yeah.
And, so anyhow,
can I just go wow? Can I go wow? Can I just go wow?
You gotta come, Donna.
Wow.
Donna, you need to come.
All right, so let's get into it. How many days would you recommend to adequately experience the Expo? So let's take that question first.
Yeah, that is a very, very good question. Look, as I mentioned, the site is huge. It's 4.38 square kilometers. I don't know how many miles are these, but anyway, it's very, very big. 190 countries. So we always recommend a minimum of 3 days visit because at the end, as I mentioned earlier, you have 190 country pavilions. Then you have the entertainment, the live experiences, the concerts, and all of that is included in your ticket. You'll be able to access that. And of course, if you are looking as well to dine in different places, so always recommend a minimum of 3 days. If you don't have that chance to be able to visit several times, of course, during the 3 days, you always can focus on a specific district and you can visit it in 1 day. But always 3 days, I think, is the best of course, duration of your visit. And don't forget, if you are, for example, guys, 5 days, 7 days in Dubai or in the area, you can always just catch of course, the metro, and you can come to the main entrance whenever you want. And we close, as I mentioned, midnight and weekends at 2 a.m. So you have plenty of time to visit the expo.
Okay. Do you have to make reservations for the food experiences? Like now, you had me with them food pictures. I'm a dessert foodie, so I saw the desserts right away, and it had chocolate on it, so I was good to go. But anyway, do you have to make reservations for the food experience, like you mentioned, in the France Pavilion, or can you just walk into the exhibit?
That is a good question, Donna. You are part of my family. I'm like a dessert foodie as well. So you need to come to the expo. I'll be happy to show you around and go to discover some amazing desserts from other countries. But look, yes, you'd be able to book. And we always recommend to reserve and book, of course, ahead of time in case you would love to visit these kind of experiences, because they are very unique. And it's the Michelin star coming, for example, for a France pavilion. I'm sure they're gonna be having demand. So we always recommend to book ahead of time. If not, you can always walk in, but of course, will depend if there is a queue or not. But we always encourage to make sure that you book ahead of time. And you can do it through the website or just calling directly the restaurant.
Okay. Lori, how far is our hotel from the expo? Do you know?
I think Tarek will be staying at the JW Marriott Marquis, which is an amazing hotel. So
I totally agree. It's one of my favorite as well. It's just in the heart of downtown, and Soraya can confirm that because she's the destination expert. And then it's practically next to Dubai Mall. You have the metro line, which is practically connected directly to the expo. So it's nothing. It's practically, if you are driving from the JW Marquis to expo, is around 35 minutes in a taxi or Uber, or if you take the metro, practically it's almost the same time, or 40 minutes. But you are in the premium location. So well done, Lori.
It's the best. Really well done, Lori, for choosing that. It's a great hotel.
Okay, so we've got some questions about the tickets. So Lori is working on the tickets, guys, just so you know, because we had a conversation about this on Monday. But they want to know where they buy their tickets, and I think Lori will probably do an email to you guys.
I'll tell you more about that as well. I'm sorry, there's a dog barking. I don't know if you guys can hear
I'm sorry, it's my dog going wild. It's
I think it was my. Oh, I thought it was here.
It's my.
But the question about the tickets, I think either Tarek or Soraya can ask. Like, there is the 1 day pass, which is roughly about $26. We say roughly because it's a conversion between the dirhams and the dollars. And then there's the multi-day pass, which is roughly about $53. And I can handle all of your ticket questions, but maybe you have a couple of surprises. I'm working on some things for the tickets with Tarek. And for all my seniors out here, I mean, goodness gracious, it's like free if you're over 60. So they've reduced the age of seniors to 60. So there is. So Tarek, do they just walk in? Do you still need to get like a free ticket, or do you just walk in? Like, how does it work if you're a senior?
It's very simple. You need to show your ID or passport that you are above 60 years old, and you can get to the ticket directly. But we always encourage people to get, of course, the ticket ahead of time, and Lori can help you with that, and she can get you that ticket as well, and just send it to you. So, but yeah, senior citizens of any country, it's irrelevant. You would be able just to get access for free at the World Fair in Dubai.
Okay, so that I think is an amazing, an amazing treat. And then also, I just wanted to touch on some things because I usually have some seniors that may have some mobility issues, and so I saw that you said there was a people mover there, like so. I'm sure Dubai has thought about everything as far as making it accessible to people that may have different levels of mobility.
Soraya, over to you.
Yeah.
A great question. I'm actually piloting our accessible tourism initiative, and we've done incredible progress over the last couple of months. We started at the end of last year. So one, we've audited a lot of our hotels. We've done 10 right now, and we basically are implementing changes that some people that have mobility issues can benefit from. We have also created, which I'll hand over to you, Lori, some itineraries that have very accessible, friendly activities. So during, people's free time, if they require a wheelchair, we have cool beaches that have boardwalks all the way to the water. We have lots of cool things. So this is something that we're piloting, and we're also updating our website to include all of this information as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have a lot more information in the next few months.
And referring to the expo as well, expo is practically entirely accessible. So practically the expo or the World Fair, it's developed to make sure that we are welcoming any kind of persons, and really we can help you with in case you require any more details about the accessibility part. And also, of course, we have the people movers, which is a driverless experience that you can take you from a place to another place. If you require any help in the site, we'll be able as well to provide it to you. So we are super accessible friendly, and as Soraya mentioned right now, she will be able to provide you with more details about that in case you require information about how accessible Dubai destination it is.
Okay, the questions are really starting to come in. Is the expo free for senior citizens of any country?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Of course.
Okay.
I mean, any country. So please, if you're coming from any country, we are happy to welcome you guys. Of course, we are talking about a World Expo, and we love to have visitors from any kind of any part of the world, of course.
Okay. How far is the hotel to the beach? Does anybody know the destination? Like,
So,
is it walking distance or?
No, I don't think it's walking. I'm not familiar. We're in the marina area. I don't know if I'll ask Soraya or Karen to answer this question. So we're at the Marriott Marquis. So how far would it be? I guess to the
You're
Palm,
super close. I mean, if you wanted to go, for instance, to the Jumeirah Beach, you'd be about a 12-minute drive. If you wanted to go to the Palm, you'd be like a 20-minute drive or so, depending on traffic. But really, like Tariq said, it's literally in the heart of the city. You're close to everything. It's a great location. So you're basically near the beach and you're near downtown. So you have the best of both next to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So great location, guys. And I've sent a couple of groups to the JW Marriott, and they've all have raved about it. So I'm very comfortable with staying there. When I first started using the JW, it was the tallest hotel in the world. Now I think it's the second tallest hotel in the world, and so it's fabulous. You'll be well taken care of as far as things around it. And Dubai is an easy city to navigate. And that's why I love this trip, because it is it's a new city, so the transportation system is good. You don't have to worry about uneven streets and cobblestones and things like that. The people are warm and friendly. Mostly everyone speaks English, so there's not the language barrier that we may have in some other countries. So it's just great. So I like to plan activities during the day for my groups and then leave the evening free because you can pretty much go out on your own, hop in a taxi and go to different restaurants or different events. So I love this trip because it's a great combination of planned activities as well as free time for you to explore. And so your evenings are, so the fact that we are near the metro line to the expo. So if we're done with touring all day and you want to come back in the evening and take a quick trip over to the expo, you can because the metro is there and it's open till midnight. So you can do that and then come back, but be up on time in the morning when we go on the next tour. Okay. So it's a lot. I think you will have plenty of things to do on this particular trip. So yeah. Any other
Okay,
questions?
so somebody's asking about the deposit and what does it do? I just put the Yuli link right in the chat, guys. You can go on there. It gives you all the information about the trip and how much of a deposit, the whole 9 yards. And then is there a weight limit for the luggage?
So let me just tell you really quickly then. So everything, like Donna said, the link is there. All the information is there. The deposit is only $300 for this trip. So I would say put your deposit down and hold your spot because it's going to fill up. And when it's sold out, it's sold out for my trip. I want to take a nice group, no more than like 25, 30 people. If I have more than that, I can do another group as well. I've done that in the past. So $300, hold your spot. We're flying on Emirates Airline, which I absolutely love. And with Emirates, the weight limit is 50 pounds per suitcase. And if you go over, it's a lot. But don't plan on going over, okay? I mean, somebody who's asking that question has already planned to shop. I already know that. But all of the weight limit is not on the website, but all the information about the payment plan, the deposit, and everything is on the website. And it's first come, first served as far as the booking is concerned. Okay.
Oh, I don't think I asked this one question, which was, does the 53 include attending as many days as you would like? And I do believe the answer to that is yes.
I think that was the 3-day pass, Tadic, right?
We don't have the 3-day pass anymore. It's called the multi-day pass that gives you unlimited access to the site up to 30 days. So it doesn't matter if you're coming for 5 days, 7 days, it just gives you access. It's biometrics, which means the moment you scan it, automatically they scan your face and you can access the site just using your face every time you need.
Yep. So that's great. So, you get the 3-day pass, you get the multi-day pass, and then you can we're there for a week. So you can just go to the expo as often as you like, essentially, during that week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Lori, I'm going to email you this question from Paige.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Outside of that, I don't have any other questions.
Okay. All right, great. We are at the end we're a little bit over time. So I want to thank our guests from Dubai for joining us because it's late their time. So thank you for joining us in this time. I just want to mention one thing. We did talk about all the activities in Dubai and all the activities at the Dubai Expo. One other thing that we'll be doing during the trip that we did not discuss during this webinar is we do have a day planned in Abu Dhabi. So in addition to everything that we just talked about here, we will spend a day in Abu Dhabi going to the Grand Mosque, the Sheikh Zayed Mosque, which is absolutely, words cannot even cannot even describe it. It's an amazing mosque, and we'll do the mosque and also other things around that emirate. And we also have a day where we visit the Sharjah. I always say it incorrectly, Tarek, or Sharjah. Is that the Sharjah? There's another emirate. So just a quick thing, Dubai is one of 7. So there's like 7 different emirates. And so Dubai is one of them, there are other ones. So we'll be visiting not just Dubai, we'll be visiting Abu Dhabi and Sharjah as part of this trip. So it's very comprehensive to give you a great overview. Just an overview of the UAE. There's so much more to see. So it's a fabulous trip. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud to be able to work with Dubai Tourism and the Expo, Dubai Expo 2020 Tourism. They've been offering great support to make sure that this trip is wonderful and that you have an awesome, awesome, awesome time. So guys, you have questions, you reach me at Lori at Overton Travel. You want details about the trip, go to overtontravel.com. And it lays out just about everything you could want to ask there. So thank you to our panelists. You've been awesome. Thank you to Donna, our moderator. You're awesome as well. And also thank you to our guests for showing up, asking questions, and being engaged. And I hope to see you on this Dubai trip, if not sooner. Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Be safe, everyone.
Bye.
All right,
Bye.
be safe. Take care.